This is Sumit Kumar, Assistant Professor, BB Department, Mawari College, Ranchi. Here I am in front of you with the new topic of international marketing. And this topic is related to FTZs, EPZs and SEZs. FTZ, the full form of FTZ is Free Trade Zone. The full form of EPZ is Export Processing Zones. And the full form of SEZs is Special Economic Zones. The concept of all these three are mostly common, but the difference between them is that these three concepts evolved at different part of time. We'll start with FTZs or EPZs. As I have said earlier, FTZ is Free Trade Zones or Export Processing Zones. Export Processing Zones are also considered as EPZs. These zones are the free enclaves within the domestic custom territory. Domestic custom territory means the boundary enclosed within a country where a particular custom duty is charged when goods and services are exported or imported. So these zones are within the domestic custom territory, but there are different rules and regulations for EPZs or FTZs when it comes to taxes or custom duties. These FTZs or EPZs are generally located near ports or airports. Mostly all the production of EPZs or FTZs are exported. The import of raw materials, intermediate goods and machineries in these EPZs or FTZs are tax-free. Now we come to the next part, which is features of EPZs or FTZs. There is simplicity of import and export procedures and processes. It provides internationally competitive environment for production of goods and services. The products which are manufactured here are competitive in terms of quality as well as price. These zones provide infrastructural facilities like power, water supply, and custom clearance offices, buildings, etc. for proper functioning of business houses. In the next part, we will deal with the objectives behind formation of EPZs or FTZs. The first and foremost objective behind formation of FTZ or EPZ is that to increase the foreign exchange reserve of domestic nation. The next objective is employment generation. The other one is that attracting foreign direct investment and allocation of capital from foreign sources. The transfer of technology with collaboration with foreign partners is made possible in these zones. These zones prove linkage with domestic custom territory, and there are other objectives behind formation of EPZs and FTZs. Now in the next part we'll deal with the concept of SEZ, that is a special economic zone, and its evolution in India. In Asia, India was the first country which recognized the importance of EPZs, export processing zones, for the promotion of international trade. In Kandla, Gujarat, the first EPZ of India was established in the year 1965. SEZ, special economic zones, are the territory or zones in the country which is differently regulated when it comes to export and import of goods and services. The regulations for export and import are different for these zones, or the companies operating from these zones. The advantage which the companies operating from SEZs get is that they get incentives from the government. Various kinds of incentives they get from the government, and the most important one is that tax-free or duty-free environment for operations. Generally, they are not required to pay any kinds of taxes or duties on export of goods. And when the raw materials, intermediate goods and other capital goods are imported in these zones, then these imported goods are duty free. In India, SEZ policy was announced on 1st of November 2000, and SEZs were regulated through the foreign policy of Government of India, and incentives were given to companies according to the fiscal policy of Indian government from November 2000 to 9th of February 2006. After various consultations, SEZ Act 2005 came into existence in India, supported by SEZ rules on 10th of February 2006. The main objectives of SEZ Acts are providing infrastructural facilities to organization, promotion of international trade, providing investment conducive environment for investment from both domestic and international front, generation of employment in the domestic nation, and generating resources in terms of export revenues. In the next part, we'll deal with SEZ rules, special economic zone rules in brief. These rules provide for simplified procedure for development, operations, and maintenance of special economic zones. It provides for single window clearance for setting up special economic zones in states. It also provides for single window clearance for any company setting up their infrastructural facilities in special economic zones. There is also provision for single window clearance for any kind of issues related to central government or state government. It also provides simple compliance procedure and documentation with the emphasis on self-certification by the parties. Now in the last part of this lecture we will deal with in brief with the facilities and incentives provided by the government to organizations operating in a special economic zone. The first and important incentive which is provided by government to organizations or companies is duty-free import or domestic procurement of goods and services which are used for development, operations and maintenance of SEZs. Next one is 100% exemption from taxes according to the provisions of Income Tax Act on income generated from export of goods from these zones, subject to rules and regulations which are 100% in the first year, 50% exemption in the next year, and in the coming years 50% from the plugging of profits generated through export of goods from these zones. Then there is exemption from the minimum alternate taxes for goods exported from these zones. Then lastly, there is exemption from central sales taxes, service taxes, and exemption from state sales taxes, which are now subsumed into GST. And this applies to SEZs, special economic zones, are rated as 0 in the IGST Act 2017. So dear students, this was in brief all about FTZs, EPZs and SEZs, their objectives, features and incentives provided by government, all are discussed here. The purpose behind formation The main purpose behind formation of SEZs are promotion of international trade. Now all the EPZs or FTZs are governed by the SEZ Act 2005. Hope it will help you in understanding the concept and topic. Thank you.